Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Age of the Primes Armada Sideways. So yeah, this figure, a lot of people were really looking forward to him because a few reasons really, but the big one being that he still retains some of his gimmickry from way back when, which we have been seeing a lot of that cut out, so I do understand. But we will start with a quick look at the box. Here we do have Sideways, and on this picture he is bearing an Autobot logo, although he does have a faction swap gimmick. As you can see, this is both the Autobot and Decepticons. And the motorcycle, actually, as I literally just opened my eyes for the first time in my life, has the Decepticon symbol. You do have his Minicons there as his rider. We got our statues, we get that same artwork there, we do get our legal jargon, we get his name, and then on the back we do get our product shots. So yeah, you do get Rook and Crosswise, and they combine into Mirror. So there we go. That's about it for the box. And we do get our lovely instruction booklet. So there is that. But moving on to the figure himself, he is a fairly decent Voyager. There are some issues, mainly with these pieces here not really wanting to stay attached. That is definitely a big one. But overall, I think he's a decent update to the old figure. I mean, I don't believe I ever messed with the old figure, but from my outside perspective on that, I think he's a decent update. So yeah, and I do appreciate that they managed to get the Minicons in there, because that has not been happening a lot recently. He does also have his blaster nightstick exhaust pipes, and these are just on 5mm ports, and you can see they are hollowed out. I really wish they had bothered to put a blast effect port on the end, because like they are his exhaust ports. Why not have a motorcycle that gets flames out of the exhaust port? I mean, come on. But yeah, that is one of those. I guess that's more of a nitpick than a real issue. But again, like, we've gotten so many blast effects, and then like half the figures coming out now can't use them. So I'm like, why not? Anywho, let's take a quick look at some of the details there. He does have a decent. It's more of a metallic yellow than a gold, but he does have some nice metallic yellow there for the face, and a bit of metallic blue for his eyes, visor. More of that yellow touching up around his shoulders and his sides. Do get some of that blue there for the motorcycle headlights, and a bit more of that yellow for the shins. Now they have completely redone his feet. Because I believe on the original one they just were little pieces that flipped out, but here they've like formed this seat, so they do look quite different. Yeah, overall a decent looking figure. And again, we do need to talk about his two little buddies, the Minicons. So yeah, and they are compromised to say the least, but again, the fact that they're in there at all makes me want to be a little nicer about it, but we are still going to point it out. Yeah, so this guy has no arm articulation, and this guy has no leg articulation. In fact, those parts actually do just come off to make the whole head swapping thing simpler. But they do have a little articulation. This guy does have a ball joint in the knee. Again, you can literally see it's like colliding with his arm there, but He does have a ball joint for his kneecap. I said knee here, I meant hip. And he does have a hinge here for his foot. And it's actually a very sturdy hinge on his foot, so that is actually nice. This guy has ball jointed shoulders and ball jointed elbows. And he does have the other combined form head just on the back here, but we will get to that in a bit. So we're going to talk about his actually, we should probably just go over the articulation for the big one here. So this guy, he does have side to side. Yeah, he does have a ball jointed head. You do actually get a hinge for these handlebars because they have to sort of tuck away for the head gimmick. You do get a full 360 at the shoulder. These shoulder pegs can pop off very easily while you're moving. Yeah, they pop off very easily. You do get a bicep swivel, and you do get 90 degrees of elbow. We do get, I believe we do get some wrist rotation because they are ball joints for the sake of the transformation. You don't get much wiggle waggle there, but you do get rotation. We do get a 360 at the waist. We get a forward kick and backward kick pretty far. We do get 90 degrees at the knee. We do get that far kick outward. Actually, we get pretty much all the way up, accounting for collision. We do get a hip swivel, and we do have a ankle pivot, bend, tilt, whatever. So there. Now we've got all the articulation out of the way. So anyway, to do his head swapping gimmick, and it baffles me because this is the Autobot head and this is the Decepticon head, and they feel like they should be the other way around. Yeah. But we will start with the Autobot head since he is already in Autobot mode. So we are just going to rip the legs off. And both of these parts forming pieces have a tiny little peg on there that can fit onto his legs here. So that's your storage. But essentially what we're going to do is we are going to pull his arms back and we are going to unhook this whole bit. And I will say, this is not secure enough. You can see that it's just two teeny little nubs. Teeny tiny little nubs that hold this whole assembly on. Probably should have been pinned, honestly. I don't really see any reason why it shouldn't have been pinned. Because, yeah, it's a big enough piece that I don't think the friction joint was good enough. And it's not one of those parts that is going to, like, easily get pushed side to side or, like, have a tendency to break. If there's a pin holding it, a pin would have actually been the better option here. Anywho, so we are going to push his head forward, and you can see it is just plugged into a 5mm port there. And you're going to bring it down. And you want to bring the antenna handlebars up like that. And then push this back into place. And clip his arms back in. And it's going to look like that with his handlebars just kind of sticking up there. And then this guy, you're just going to take his little Minicon head, because it's a 5mm post, and stick it in like that. And for this one, you're supposed to like angle his arms out like this to make his horns. So there we have our very angry looking Autobot sideways. And yeah, I will admit that the sculpt looks nice. And again, I do like this head. It's just I find it weird that it's the Autobot one. Anywho, to switch it, we're going to take him out, and we are going to just briefly open all this up again so that we have room to flip this little piece around to the Decepticon side. And now we're going to come here, and this guy's arms are going to slide off like so. And again, just a little post that is gonna plug on over here like that. And now we're gonna plug this guy in. And I love that they so he sort of has a faceplate, as you can see, but because it's the hinge, it looks like almost like his mouth is full, like he's chewing on something. I think it looks a little funny. But yeah, you just plug him in the same way. And now this one, we want to shape his horns like this by turning his legs and then flattening out that foot. And that should be our Decepticon look for them. And yeah, again, I do like the head, but I do think it looks a little funny. I do like the way these horns work a little better, because you don't have just those obvious hands just sitting there. I do think that the legs do feel a little bit better as far as like overall appearance, but overall I do prefer this head just because like he's a bad guy and he should look evil, but this is apparently his good guy side head. Yeah. Anywho, let's do a couple quick comparisons. So here we have him next to the Cybertron Sideways that came out at Walmart, I believe, last year. Should have grabbed more Armada figures. I completely spaced. Oh well, we're going to do some random comparisons then. Here he is next to APC's Attack Prime. And here he is next to a different side swapping agent in Lockdown. So yeah. And actually we'll do the other more recent Lockdown too, even though I don't like it as much. So anyway, there's your size comparisons. So now we can work on transforming him. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to remove Minicon head, and these are where they store in the bike mode as well, so you can just leave those there. Anywho, so we are going to open these up, and we are going to just bring this whole assembly up, and we are going to rotate it around, and we can just kind of leave it there for the moment. Get that up over there. There's a little tab here. We're going to come here and open these panels up and flip his hands inside like so, and like so. And now for these parts, again, these are almost certainly going to pop off, but you can see they're on like a little arm here, and you're going to want to bring them out straight. And yeah, you can see they're literally trying to fall off. You can see that the gap has increased. Just push them back in there. And you want to bring this around like so that this tire cover is facing the same way as the hood of the motorcycle. And I am getting a phone call. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. It was just a stupid robocall, waste of time. Anyway, where were we? Alright, so, okay, so we do want to bring, okay. So we are going to bring this down, and there should be, yeah, it's a little tiny tab right here. It's going to go into this little notch right here, like so. Like that. Actually, before we do that, we want to bring this up, and you can see this actually does have a similar little clip for that mode. But yeah, you bring this down, and you are going to get a little tab slot connection there in the middle. But yeah, just bring this down, tab that in, make sure that's all secured. You come up here, and we can bring these handlebars up into a more favorable position. And then we are going to come down here and bring the arms together. We do want to rotate them around so that the purple and the exhaust pipe are facing out. So we'll rotate those around, bring this in like so. And there is a little tab slot there, like so. Now we want to work on his legs. So again, we want to bring these pieces in because they're going to form the seat. And on one side, you can see this little bit here does need to come out. And be aware, this is quite stiff. It is possible to do it with your hands, but probably better to do it with a tool if you have one, because it is, yeah, it's really stiff, and I can already feel my nails cracking. There we go. There we go. So you want that out like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go clip that now. But you want that out like that so that when you bring the other foot around, it has a little cavity right here. Light's not hitting it as well. I might need to readjust my lights. I'm using the new chair, so I've moved things around a little bit. But yeah, you're gonna just bring that over, and you're not gonna put them together yet because we do have to collapse the legs. Right. So on this side, I'm gonna bring this up, and there is, as you can see, a couple different hinges. You are going to bring this up and just bring this all the way to the back, like so. Now we can close that up. We're going to do the same on the other side. Oop, bumping the camera there. Open this up and just bring this whole assembly down, and straighten this out, close it up, and now we can actually combine them. And as I knock all the little bits off, like so, and now should be able to bring this up. And now again, there's a little tab slot here, but now this will form a post that is going to go in right here, like so. And I believe that is everything. And now we have him in his motorcycle mode. And we can go ahead and put these things back on. And overall, it is a decent motorcycle mode. It is a little thick in the back, but again, I think it's fairly accurate to his design. And he does have a little molded kickstand on this side, and he actually stands up very well. But again, he is kind of wide. And we can make his little Minicon rider now. So what we do is we just take the two Minicons here, and we want to lift this one's face up like so. We're going to bring his legs back down and straighten them out like so. And we are going to flip this one's head up like so. Just rotate his arms forward, and then we just plug this in like so. Press it up against his back. It doesn't like tab in or anything, it just folds up against it, but it is a very solid connection. And now we have mirror, and you can actually put him on there in a way that he is riding the motorcycle, and with his hands you can actually grip the handlebars. So we can just go ahead and finagle this on there. There we go. Go ahead and just put him on there. And now he has his Minicon rider, which is cool. definitely dig that. So yeah, overall, a decent adaptation. Again, I do have some issues with it. Um, that doesn't really roll. Yeah, doesn't really roll at all. Yeah, again, these two tire parts, they're just on 5mm pegs, and they love to pop off because it's a very shallow peg. The Minicon parts forming is not great. I do understand that, it was probably a budget constraint thing. The designers have to work with what they do because the higher ups keep, making it harder and harder for them. No shade to the designers. But yeah, overall, I do think it's a decent adaptation, all things considered. And it should be, considering it's going for a Voyager price point, which is pretty hefty right now. So, if you definitely have an attachment to this figure, I think you'll be mostly satisfied. It's not bad. If you don't care about this character specifically, I think it's probably an easy pass. I like Armada. I need to go rewatch the show because it's been so long. But I've liked most of the Armada updates, and again, they are less compromised than like the Prime and the animated figures tend to be, because they are somewhat blocky in design already. But I don't know if I would go and buy this one a second time, just because it does have some compromises, it does have some issues, and again, with that new Voyager price point, it's a little bit iffy. I don't think it's a bad figure overall. It definitely needed some tweaks, and I just don't think it justifies its price point. So if you like the character, or if you're just trying to get all the Armada figures, I think he's worth picking up. But if you're not, really attached to it, I think you can pass and not really worry about it. But that's just my personal thoughts. Honestly, he has been selling well because he came out in the same wave as Nexus Prime, and when I've been recently shopping around looking for the Studio Series Skywarp, I find lots of Nexus, but I never find this guy. So I think a lot of people are at least enjoying this figure. And again, despite everything, I do think he is a good figure at the end of the day. So. But I think that's really all I have left to say. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this review. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.